Good morning. Welcome to the live stream. My name is Angela. Welcome. I am a front-end developer and software engineer in St. Paul, Minnesota. Today is Sunday, August 31st. How is everybody doing? It's a beautiful, sunny Sunday morning, and we are on the tail end, the last stream for this particular project. Let's take a look, shall we? I have to tell you, last week I was really nervous about getting all of this done this weekend because I just felt like there was so much to do. And then yesterday, I feel like we just blasted through so many of the things that I needed to get done. So I think today's going to be a pretty chill day. We definitely have things on the to-do list that we need to get done, but it's nothing we can't handle. And then today concludes this particular project. So first of all, if you're new here, welcome. I go live pretty much every Saturday and Sunday morning. And on this channel, we just practice HTML, vanilla CSS, vanilla JavaScript. I don't have anything against frameworks. I think frameworks are awesome. I personally used Vue for the last 7 years. I built one full stack Angular app. I've worked on a couple other Angular apps, so I get it. Frameworks are a thing. I personally just love to do personal projects with the basics. No Node, no package manager, no compiler. I was a Sass user I still am, for over a decade. I've been a front-end developer for 12 years. And what I realized when I really started digging back into vanilla CSS is that my Sass was actually kind of out of control. So practicing vanilla CSS again has actually gotten me back in tune with specificity and inheritance. I'm doing a much better job scoping my class names. So it's just been a huge win for me personally to get back to basics. So a lot of people ask me, like, what framework should I learn next? Or why don't you like frameworks? Or things like that. So first, the answer to the first question is, you should learn whatever looks interesting to you. Learn whatever looks interesting to you. I know that most job descriptions probably say that you should know how to use React, and I totally get that. But the reality is, especially if you're a junior developer, if you know any of the frameworks, you are probably still a good candidate for the job. So don't let that stop you from applying. And the answer to the second question, I think I'm probably repeating myself now, is that I have nothing against frameworks. I totally get why they're important and why they're used for so many things. I'm pretty sure the universe runs on React at this point. I just love the basics. So that's what we do here. Okay. Monique is here. Good morning, Monique. Monique is a mod in the chat. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. Should we get started? Let's just do maybe a quick rundown of what it is that we need to get done today. We need to finish getting this product grid in order for mobile. And you see there, when we get down to the nitty-gritty, how that second column is not responsive. And that's because I just learned CSS grid a couple of weeks ago after a decade of using Flexbox. So we need to do some things. And ChatGPT was kind enough to spell it all out for me yesterday. And of course, I looked at this and I was like, this is too much. You're asking me to do too much. So we are going to look into this today because there's more to CSS grid than meets the eye. I definitely did not run into these things with Flexbox. So we need to figure out why this second column isn't resizing correctly. The other thing that we are going to do, let me do this, because I think that I am covering it up. There we go. So this filter now on the left is being hidden off canvas, and I want to treat that filter just like I'm treating the navigation. So the navigation comes in from the right, and we have some Z index here that we need to fix. We need to do the same thing. We need to put an icon here, or we'll put a button here, so we can have that filter slide in from the left. I think I said that correctly. The menu comes from the right. The filter is going to come in from the left. And I got that idea from a website called Knitpicks. This is a website where I like to buy yarn, because in my offline activity is that I like to knit and crochet. I also like to spin and dye. And here we have our filter sliding in from the left, but we have our navigation, or excuse me, I don't know my left from right. Our filter is sliding in from the right. Filter is sliding in from the right. And then our navigation is sliding in from the left. Look at this cute little navigation. So, I mean, this is like, I basically style my navigation pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. I think the next step in our navigation, accessible, responsive navigation journey, is that we really need to nail down submenus and buttons. We're not going to do that today, but we need to do that. We're going to do it together. We're going to do it together. So it's complex, but we can do it. But they do a really nice job here. Just simple, usable, super clean. I love it. So anyways, those are the filters. We're gonna do the same thing for our filters. Okay, well, let's just do the thing that I am least excited about doing, which is figuring out what the heck we're gonna do here with Flexbox, or excuse me, CSS Grid. Okay, so here's what I said yesterday. I noticed with CSS Grid that when I'm writing mobile styles, columns only resize so far, meaning they just stop shrinking even if I think there's room to resize. So, yep, classic grid gotcha. Tracks stop shrinking because the item's intrinsic minimum sizes block them. A few quick fixes. Let columns actually shrink. Instead of 1FR, repeat 3 min max 0 1FR, or your 5-column case on desktop. So min max 0 1FR, this is the difference. Min max 0 1FR removes the content sized min that makes 1FR behave like at least min content. Okay, so let's just do this. Let's just do this. Sometimes I see things like that and I'm just like instantly exhausted at the thought of needing to figure it out. So if you are like me and you feel the same way, you're like, sweet Jesus, what do you want? Like, what do I need? I need to understand this now. You're not alone. You're not alone. So, okay, so let's look for grid template columns. So instead of 1FR, it's min max 1FR. I guess that's easy enough. Let's see how it goes. No. Oh, it's not, hang on. What did I change? Oh, I changed something completely different. Okay. That's a good mistake to make actually. So I think product grid. We're looking for the product grid right here. Wait, oh, mobile. We need to do it on mobile too. There it is. Instantly changed it. We do still only go so far. That's probably because of the text. So let's clamp our text right here. So right now the font size is 1.5. I mean, it's still, this could be holding us up too. We need to clamp that text anyways. Although, I mean, we could just do a mobile for the product heading. I mean, we could just, we're here, right? I've been very inconsistent with my dashes and my underscores. I have to get better about that. So I'm just going to say font size 1 rem. And Go Elmo Go is here. Hello all, I am here and I am finishing the HTML structure of my portfolio site. Good for you, Go Elmo Go. Rahul is here. Rahul, I think you changed your last name, but I recognize the photo. Hello, congratulations on hitting 1K. Thank you. Yes, listen, I don't want this to be a channel about being a YouTuber, but I will be perfectly honest with you and tell you that I can't stop thinking about it because it was so much work. It was a year of streaming. I think I could have done I'm sure I could have done so many more things to get to 1,000 subscribers faster. I wouldn't change anything that I've done for the last year because look at all the experimenting that I've done over the last year, or just even how I got a year to feel really comfortable with this format. So I wouldn't change anything at all. And thank you for the people who notice and say something. I appreciate that. I have big plans. I got big plans, people. So, okay. So okay, that didn't even, product heading, that didn't even work. Font size 1 rem. Why don't you like that? What am I missing? Well, I actually would probably put this up here anyways. Oh, it's because of the specificity. I'll put this here. We can try 768. Yeah, that works. That works. So right around, what is that? Around 330, 340. It just doesn't want to get any smaller than that. Okay, but let's also make sure that this is stacking a little better too. See, I just don't know if that's how it's supposed to behave or if I'm doing something wrong. It's probably me. Yeah, because this is flex flow no wrap. So let's just get that stacking and then we can style that a little better too. So this is the so I'm going to change the flex wrap. So do I want to change it? I want to change that. I want to change that, the child. Put that right here. Flex wrap. Wrap. I suppose I could just change the flex column. There we go. That, oh good, it was. That's what it was. Look at that. Nice. We did it. We did it. Okay. So I think I will change it to column. That's what I usually do. So I'm going to change the flex direction to column instead. Yeah. And then, so that has a gap and that has a gap. Maybe like 0.5 rems. Yeah, that tightens it up a little bit. Okay, so we need to do my least favorite thing, which is center justifying everything, but it kind of works. So let's just do, well, it would be justify content center since we changed the directions. We'll just do both. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Doesn't look quite right, does it? And our logo is like, well, let's see. Do we have something that is, what's overflowing here? These are overflowing. Okay, let's fix these. Let's fix these. So those are the it's the newsletter right here. Where's the Instagram one? Okay, so it's just newsletter and Instagram. Okay. I'm just going to say padding 1 rem. Honestly, we could probably clamp that. There we go. We need to adjust our titles. They could be a little smaller. We need to adjust, I think, some of the space here. We need to adjust the gap. So let's clamp the font size, which is right here. Right here. Okay. 1 point, I'm just going to say 1.1 rems for mobile, and then maybe 2.5 VW, and then 2 for desktop. Totally guessing. Yeah, but that looks proportional, I think. Let's definitely clamp that padding. I think we should clamp that padding. So it just flows a little bit better, right? So if we know we want it to be 5 rems on desktop, and maybe not 1 rem on mobile, but maybe like 1.25. I'm just guessing here. Just a guess. We can play with it. I know there's like a scientific way to do it. Yeah, I like that. It flows really nice. That works. Look at that. Clamp is really powerful. I mean, you give up some control over, you have a lot more control with the media query. But what you give up in terms of control, I really do think that you gain in flexibility. Control versus flexibility. I think it's worth it though. Yeah, I think it's worth it. Let's tighten up this. I don't think we need this much gap. So for that Insta grid, we do have a media query for the Insta grid. So let's change the gap as well. I thought we did. We don't. We'll add one. Yeah, I like it. The other thing I was thinking about doing was adding a little more padding to this input. Right now I just have a rem of padding, but I think there's plenty of room to add a bit more. So here's our newsletter, here's our form, here's the input. I don't know if we want 2, maybe just 1.5. And then we'll add a little padding to our button too. Yeah, love it. Let's also update these images because right now we just have the same image. And it's easy enough to update those. Whoops. Okay, well that's fine. We can do that one. There we go. Love it. Love it. And then I also updated our the text for the footer navigation. Oh, and Andreas MLS is here. Hello. Thank you. Congratulations for 1K. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And welcome. We're happy to have you. It's a holiday weekend in the United States, so I understand that. Well, I think I have a sizable international audience, but I totally understand if people don't all come to the stream on a holiday weekend. One moment here. Although I do tend to notice that one day is generally slightly busier than the other day. So, for what it's worth. Okay, so anyways, I did update the text for these footer links. And I was thinking, I have some ideas for what we could do here on mobile. And yes, I know I have distracted myself from the product grid, but we are going to get back to that. We are going to get back to that. So what I did yesterday is we have all these sections. I put 2 rems of padding on the right of just this first section. I think it's actually better to just put some gap in between everything. So if these links were to get longer, they wouldn't bump in. So let's do that. Let's fix that. So that's the footer items wrap. Right here. So let's just put a gap of 2 rems here. And then where did I put that? Right here. I think this is where I put. Yeah. So now everything has some space if this gets long. The other thing I would like to do, because this just drops right down into. Did this update? This doesn't look like it updated. Yeah, I guess it did. Oh, you know what? Let's stack these. Let's recount these and stack them. They're so tiny. And then we're going to come back to this. I just noticed that, though. I think theirs are way too tiny. So I do want to change this to 0.25 rems. And then where's the Insta? Right here. We don't need these. So if we're going to do divided by 3 and we change the gap to, oh, that's probably why the gap didn't shrink. It was because of this calculation. So this would be I think this would be 0.5 rems. Hang on. So if it's 3, 1, 2, 3, and it's 0.25 in between each, that would be 0.5, 100% minus 0.5 divided by 3. I don't think I have that wrong. 1, 2, 3, 0.25 times 2 is 0.5. 1, 2, 3, 0.25. Okay, so if this was 1 and then this was 2, oh my gosh, Angela. FlexFlow no wrap. It gets me every single time. Every single time. Okay, flex wrap. Hang on. Flex wrap. Wrap. Okay. We did it. Okay. I love this. I love it when it changes to a nice little grid. But I think that this should be at a lower, I think we could do this at 768. I think we could just do this. No, we would want to do both of these at 768. So we'll do another media query. Oh, beautiful. We love it. We love it. I do want this clamp. I think this clamp could be a little smaller. Though, yeah, we can go down to 1 pixel. This will probably have to, yeah. Yeah, that works. Yeah, I'll take it. Look at that. It makes me want to change the gap though on desktop. Oh, I have to change the calculation. So 0.5 times 5 is 2.5. There we go. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's good enough. It's fine. You have to decide sometimes that something is just good enough and move on. So, Emilio is here. Welcome, Emilio. It's sub day, yay. Which now is probably a good time to remind people that if you're new here, welcome. We've had a little growth spurt over the last couple of months. In fact, we just hit 1,000 subscribers this weekend, and the channel doubled in 2 months. We had 499 subscribers on July 1st. So we doubled in 2 months, which is pretty cool. Definitely really proud that we were able to do that. So if you're new here, do me a favor, like the video so we can push this out to more people who might be interested in this type of content. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We would love to have you. We would love to have you. We are a very happy this is a safe space. This is a space where we don't really put up with a lot of shenanigans. We're here to just relax, enjoy front-end development, enjoy one another's company, take our minds off of all the craziness happening in the world, and to just enjoy front end, because we are all nerdy and we love front end development. So if you enjoy that type of thing, you are in the right place. So okay, so I'm really happy with how this is looking. I actually wasn't unhappy with it before, but we've made some nice improvements. Here's what I want to do on the footer. We just have this giant column of text for this footer, right? We just have this giant column of text. I think this could be a little more efficient. So let's what I would like to do is what's the best way to do this? So I think the best way to do this is to not make this into one column, but on mobile take this first section and have it, although I don't want it, I want it to span, I want it to, well, what do I want it to span? I want it to span 2 columns, and then I want everything below to stay in one big row, and then you could just swipe horizontally. Let's see if we can figure that out. So if I was using Flexbox, I would need these 4 sections to be in their own container in order to do that. We already have footer meta, so we would have footer meta spanning. But we don't want, I only want it to span 2, not all 6, but I still need it to be responsive. So let's try this with the footer meta first. I think I did this wrong. I said grid column 1. I think I was supposed to say, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay. Span 6. So I think what I want to do is change this to span 2. That looks right. Yes. Yes. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing with about items. About items. Well, we can just do this. Yes. Oh, maybe this works. No, I don't. Yeah, because then that's going to happen like that. I want this this, 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 and this to be in a row. Which means I want these. I want to undo those. So how much you want to bet that I have to change this right here for desktop? And just say 6. Oh, because it's not. I mean, I don't know, maybe this is okay. I wanted it to be horizontal. I don't know, is that okay? This doesn't quite line up. We could just change this. We could just say corporate. Actually, this isn't even representative of corporate information. We could just say products. Yeah, corporate info, let's just say products. Yeah, okay, this works. I'm good with this. And then let's just tighten up some of this padding. Footer. We just need to tighten up some of the padding. So footer items wrap. Just a little more on the top and bottom. Yep. And then I think after the H3s, we can tighten this up a little bit to 1 rem. Yep, that looks good. Okay, we'll start with that so I don't forget. Footer items wrap. Padding 1.5 rems on the top and bottom, 1 rem on the left and right. And then the footer heading, we're going to change that to 1 rem on the bottom. That looks good. That looks really good. And then let's tighten up our gap. Footer items wrap. Let's change that gap to 1. We could maybe even change it to 0.5. Yep. Let's tighten up our unordered list items, which have a lot of margin. No, these also have gap. Is it gap? No, it's margin. Hang on. What is it? It's margin. Oh yeah, we can definitely take this down. Yep, that looks good. That works. That was margin. This looks great. And then let's tighten up this padding right here, footer meta. So margin and padding. That works. All right, look at this. I am very happy with this. I am very happy with this. Let's check a couple. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, our grid doesn't, it's not the worst in the world for sure. So, spoken English. Yeah. Have you deployed the last project? And thank you, Go Elmo Go, for reminding us what the link is. All the links to the GitHub repository and the the demo page are in the description, but we can go ahead, let's go ahead and deploy again, and we'll check things on mobile. We'll check things on we'll check on mobile device, yes. So we can go ahead and do that now. We definitely have a little more styling to do, but I'm very pleased with how we tighten up this footer. So, and I want to see it on my phone. More mobile styles for product, grid, and footer. All right, let's let that deploy here for just one moment. All right, and Akib is here. Sorry I was not able to visit your past 3 lives because I was sick and still working on a solo project on an Android app. My project will be completed in 1 week fully. How is the day? Well, the day is going well, and I am sorry to hear that you have not been feeling well. You do not owe me an explanation if you can't attend a live, but can I tell you how much I appreciate that you're here letting me know that? But You owe me no explanation. I'm here every weekend. I'm always happy to see you, and if you have other obligations, I absolutely understand it, but I'm also glad that you're feeling better, and congratulations on your app. I'm happy to hear that. So, okay. Let's fire up the mobile device. Let's see here. Where is... I need a cord. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if our... Hang on, where are you, mouse? Okay. iPhone. There it is. Okay, there it is. So let's do this. I kind of like this little like side-by-side comparison here of what we have going on. I'm not in love with the top black banner, but I don't know what else to do with that. I'm not sure what else to do with it. We could take out the second line of text for mobile. We could center align it. I don't know. It's just, I don't love it. We could make the text smaller, but then it's not really accessible. So I'm not really sure. I think that our logo and the icons look great. Oh, we have to fix that z-index problem with the sort. But our mobile menu does work, so that's awesome. If we were choosing an item for sort, that all works good. We do need to make this sort or the select wider to accommodate the wider text, so we'll do that too. We didn't really do any styles for grid versus list view, even though I did include these as buttons. I will go ahead, we wrote an active class for the grid view, so I'll at least add the active class there, but it's not really going to be a dynamic part of the user interface because we just didn't get to it. We just didn't get to it. And I think our grid itself looks great. Our grid itself looks great. We can load more. So I love everything that's happening down here with the buttons and the load more. I love our little Instagram grid. I love our little newsletter subscribe. And I think the footer looks fine too. The footer, turning these lists of links into columns, I think it looks great. Much better than if everything was just all in one column. So Emilio is, Goamogo is saying, what about making it a simple drop down with the lorem? Yeah. I don't know. You know what I would actually rather do is I would rather just hide it on desktop. What if we did this? What if we did, I want to just display none on desktop and then make the, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't want to do, I'm avoiding it altogether. So, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's keep going. We got more stuff to do. And I'm just, I am procrastinating on making a decision about the things that I don't want to deal with. So there's that. So there's that. Yes, one moment. One moment. Okay. So I think the next thing that we should do is deal with, we need to do our slide out functionality for this filter. And where are we at for time? We're right at about an hour. So I think we're doing great here, time-wise. So our aside is officially off canvas. So we're going to want to put in a click event for the body. And let's just add a class to the body so we can get that. We can get that situated. So the class will be filter active. And again, I like to let the CSS do all the heavy lifting. Oh, this is the wrong one. Oh, the number of times that I've done that. The number of times I've done that. Okay, so here's our local host. We're going to do the exact same thing for that filter that we did for the navigation. So let's refresh our memories. So go Elmo go. You're right. We should probably do something like that, but I'm procrastinating because I don't like to deal with things that I don't like to deal with. So hopefully, I hope I'm being clear that I don't think that you have a bad idea. I'm just procrastinating because that's what I do when I don't want to deal with something. I just find something else to do. So. We do need to add a button. We'll go ahead and do that. Okay, here it is. So this is pretty much exactly what we did yesterday to hide that filter. And then this is what we did to show the filter. So we're going to pretty much do the same thing. And we won't have to do anything like this because the navigation had to be changed from a row to a column, but our filter is already a column. So I'm just going to copy this and let's go find our filter. Should be in a media query right here. And we're going to say filter active. And we're going to say sidebar filter. And so this is on the left instead of the right. And then we set the transform, translate X to 0. And I think this would be positive 100, not negative 100. There we are. Look at that. So we probably want to put a little padding in this list. Right here. Could make it actually a little wider too. It might just need, I think it just needs some padding though. Look at that. And then we need to make sure that it scrolls. It scrolls in its container. here. And then I think we just need to make sure that we do overflow Y scroll. Yeah, we need to, okay, how many times have I said we need to fix this Z index? But we could probably just change this Z index. Yeah, so we just change that to 1. And then let's make sure that we have some box shadow there as well. And we'll do some box shadow. Whoops. And I'm going to say 1 pixel. Let me see here. Positive 1 pixel, 0 on the y-axis, 1 pixel blur, 1 pixel spread, and then RGBA black. And I usually do 10% for the alpha transparency. Oh, I think I went in the wrong direction. Oh, what did I do wrong? X, Y. Do I have box shadows? Oh, I have. Oh, let me see here. Oh, am I doing this in the wrong place? Oh, yeah. That's why. And actually, this should be zeros. So when it's closed, we don't see it. So this should be no value. And then this should be I think this should be a positive value. Yeah, there we go. Because it goes in the other direction. So if it's negative, it goes to the left. If it's positive, it goes to the right. That's why it was reversed, because on the mobile navigation, it came from the other direction. So look at that. Look at that. Okay, so let's also make sure that we have, a close button. So we're going to borrow a close button from our navigation. Let's collapse a couple of these. So here's the close button. We're gonna borrow this. I'm gonna put that inside the aside. And instead of menu button, I'm gonna call this, we're gonna say filter button. But leave everything else the same. So there it is. And then I'm just going to steal some styles here. Because we're also going to need an open button, which is fine. Okay, good. Glad you understand. Akib is asking, are you going to do more JavaScript work to animate and more interaction options like live hover animations? So I personally wouldn't use JavaScript for any animations, hover animations. I would use CSS for that, not JavaScript. We are going to write more JavaScript to open and close the filters. So that I am going to do. So yes, so stay tuned. We're going to do that next. As soon as I nail these styles down, we are going to do more JavaScript to open and close the filters. I'm not planning to do any more animations for the products. We could like do a hover. I was kind of thinking about doing a hover like to scale or zoom on the image. So we could do that. I wouldn't do that with JavaScript. I would do that with CSS, but we could definitely do that. So yeah, let's stay tuned. I want to finish getting this sorted out, and then we can do a little more finishing touches. We'll do more finishing touches. So, okay, so let's get another, we're definitely going to need another button in here. Where is the best place to put that? So if we put, so the aside comes before the products, but on mobile, we would want, where would we want that button to be? So if on mobile, here's the products, and then here's this product meta with all the stuff. I guess we could just put the filter options. See, I don't love how all of this looks right here. Not a fan. Not a fan. I'm kind of wondering if we should take this grid or list view out, because I didn't style anything for a list view. It's just sitting here. It's pointless. So I hate how this looks right now on mobile. I guess if I was gonna filter, we could just put a filter button right up here, right? So if we put the filter button right before the aside, and the aside is hidden, it would naturally come right before the product grid, but for accessibility, it is still technically before the sidebar filter, which is where that button should come. Why does it look like that? Oh. Yeah, I kind of want to take this view out. So I'm going to. I don't like it. I don't like it. I didn't build anything to go with it. And you know, I have to tell you, these are the types of decisions that get made when you're nearing a launch date. And when you're nearing a launch date and you're like, okay, well, we didn't get everything done, so what needs to be done before something can deploy? What needs to be done before something can deploy? And what is going to continue to be technical debt? That's the exact type of thing. That's the exact type of decision that you make. And I already like this better. And I can live with that. The other thing I was thinking is for our sort, instead of just having the border around the select, let's put it around the entire sort. I think that will look better. And we need to make sure that that select is a little bit wider so it can support. Yeah. Okay, let's do that. let's be realistic about how wide we have to make it. Sort select in width. About 125 pixels. $130. That works. And then the border is coming from the browser, so the user agent style sheet on the select. Excuse me. So let's take out the border. We'll say border none. And then the sort is the container. Let's put the border here instead. Border, 1 pixel, solid. I'm going to do the dark gray. I like that a lot better. And then let's just put a little padding. I'm going to say 0 on the top and bottom. Yeah, that looks way better, doesn't it? I think so. This already makes me happier. This already makes me happier. Okay. So let's get a button in here for filtering. And Spoken English says, I want to learn backend. Could you please suggest me some easy technologies to learn backend? I'm not a full stack or a backend developer, so I'm not really able to suggest that. I think channels like Traversy Media would be a better resource for something like that. I think there are too many things to choose from. And I think that there are other dev channels on YouTube that have far more expertise in backend than I do. I personally learned Java and Python. I didn't love either of them because I'm not a back-end developer. I'm not good at object-oriented programming or data structures. I guess if I had to choose one, I would choose Python because I do use Python for scraping. And I do really enjoy that. And that came in really handy when I was working at the University of St. Thomas, because a lot of when we were moving from an old CMS to a new CMS, instead of having to go and copy and paste content from pages, they could just give me a list of URLs and I could scrape the content for them. And that came in very handy. But again, I used that for something completely different, and I'm just not a back-end developer. So I think that there are, like I said, better channels out there that are a better resource for back-end and what employers are looking for. So yeah, Go Elmo Go is putting up the link to Traversy Media. I would highly recommend going and looking at Traversy Media. Rahul, you had, what was the roadmap.sh? Roadmap.sh. This was a suggestion from Rahul a couple weekends ago Developer roadmaps. They've got a back end here. So check this out. Check this out and see if anything here looks interesting. You know, I'm always going to tell people that they should do what looks the most interesting to them, because development is such hard work. You're going to spend hours of your life working on it. You really ought to enjoy it. So, what features would be good for an app which I'm making a music player but more modern and relaxing, and will have mood options for songs according to moods, but music needs to be downloaded manually? So what features would be good for an app which I'm making a music player? I feel like I'm just going to disappoint people with my answers to these questions. I am not really sure what features would be good for a music app. I think the best way to figure out what features would be good would be to go and look at music apps that already exist. So I'm thinking like Spotify, maybe, I don't know what kind of a mobile device you have, but presumably you have a music app on your mobile device. I think that you as a user should think about your own experience using apps and what you find to be good features and what you find to be helpful, because technology is about solving problems. And when I think of things that I want to do as personal projects, I'm really thinking about problems that I want to solve. So if I want to build a category filter, it's because I've tried to do that before, and I can think of situations where that would be really helpful and useful in projects that I've worked on. So I'm essentially solving problems that I've had. I want you to take that approach. I just don't know how to answer that question, because I'm not building a music app. I don't even really use music apps. I mean, I use the YouTube music sometimes. I don't listen to that much music. I like music, I just don't listen to that much music. So I'm the wrong person to ask, because that's not a problem that I'm trying to solve right now. So I want you to think for yourself. You clearly have a reason for wanting to build a music app. I want you to sit and think about the things that you would like to see in a music app, the things that you find interesting or helpful or relaxing or useful in a UI, and you can answer your own question. So think of it as a way to solve a problem, and what do you wish you could do? I hope that helps. I'm trying to encourage developers to be independent problem solvers. Think of it as problem solving. So Rahul's also suggesting Thapa technical geeky shows to learn in Hindi language. They teach so much. That's excellent advice. Thank you. That's excellent advice. Thank you for that, Rahul. Okay. I'm glad that we took out the grid list option, because I think this looks cleaner and tidier, and I like how it looks on mobile. So let's get in our button for some options. And we need to put that right here. And let's find, we need to find an icon. So, well, actually, I think we can get this at Ionicons. Right here, this is what I want. I am concerned sometimes that people want me to give them hard and fast answers. And in my experience, life comes with very few hard and fast answers. So, and let's see here. Oh, Go Elmo Go has some URLs for us. Thank you for doing that, Go Elmo Go. And then I Am Stranger is asking, you made this whole code. I did. I did make this entire code. And if you're interested in taking a look at the GitHub repository, it is linked in the description along with the demo site. And by the way, make sure that you like and subscribe. I would appreciate it so much. I would appreciate it so much. Okay. So I'm going to put it right there. We'll do a button. I'm just going to say filter. Make sure that our button is, or our SVG is ARIA hidden true. And our button is a type button. And we don't need an ARIA label because we're not hiding the text. Type button. But we do need a class. So I think we decided this was going to be filter button. Here we go. So on desktop, I'm going to say filter button, display none. And then on mobile, we'll say filter button, display. Actually, it's going to be display flex because I want to arrange my text in my SVG. And I'm going to steal those styles as well. Here. I think this is it. Okay, there it is. And I Am Strangers saying, did you sell this website or is it for fun only? It's just practice. So this is not client work, just practice. And Pranav is saying hello. He's from India. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay. I think this is a little too much padding. 0.5 rems. Border. I'm going to just say border none. Background color transparent. And I am going to give this a border radius. Well, no, I'm not. And then our filter button SVG. I want the width to be, I think we said 1.25 rems, the height to be 1.25 rems. And let's make sure that we don't need to, we need to take out that stroke, but I'm going to leave the attribute empty. And we've already done that for that. I think that needs to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, a little bit bigger. And I think it needs to be a little more padding too. $47.99. I am going to call that close enough. We're going to round that one up. And then I think I will give it, I think I will do this one a little bit different than the menu. I'm going to do black. And I'm also going to do that black. And putting a border on it actually will bump it up a little bit, the tap target. And then we can make this stroke white. There we go. That SVG is awfully small. I would like it to be a little bit bigger. And so I think we will be able to decrease the padding. There we go. Yeah, I like that. That looks good. And then I am going to give it a little bit of border radius. I don't normally like border radius, but on buttons like this, on like a square button, I do kind of like it. Just a little bit. There we go. And then let's change the margin so it slides over to the right. So we're going to say 0.5 rems on the top. So it's top, right, bottom, left. So the left will be auto. The bottom will be 0.5 and top, right, bottom, left. This is 0.5 rems. I don't know why this is so hard for me to remember. There we go. There we go. And let's what do we think? I mean, I think this looks fine. We could definitely tighten up this. Yeah, we could tighten up this margin. So let's just tighten up this tertiary heading first of type. Or tertiary heading first of type. And I'm just going to do it on mobile. First of type. And we have a lot of margin here. So I'm just going to say 0 on the top, 0 on the left and right, and we'll keep that margin on the bottom. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, let's get this. Let's take this filter active off the body and make sure that this is styled now. So here's our filter button with the word filter. The text is tiny. It's right here. Filter button. And I'm also going to say filter open. And then let's also do, kind of just want to do filter close. Filter close. And no one asked you about how are you, ma'am? Oh, I don't know. I feel like a few people have asked me how I'm doing today. I'm doing well. But thank you for asking. I appreciate it. All right. I can feel the love. That's not sarcasm. I really can feel the love. Okay. Filter open, filter close, filter button. Okay. So filter open. And we put an aria on the close, didn't we? No, we didn't. So we need an aria label. Whoops. Aria label. Close filter. And then this just says filter. We can just leave it as filter. I don't want to put a separate aria label and have text that gets read out, because I want the text. So, okay, filter open. Filter button. Filter open. I'm going to make this width 100%. Perfect. And I'm going to say font size 1 rem. Color white. All right. And then let's make sure that this has, I'll put the gap here. Gap 1 rem. And it doesn't have our font. So that's fine. There it is. Yeah, I can live with this. Should our sort also be 100% on mobile? And then we can add a little bit of space here. So min width 130, but then on mobile, we'll just say width 100%. Does this also need to be width 100%? I think that I'm not going to worry about this, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of space right here. So let's give our showing a little bit of margin on the top and bottom. There we go. Let's not overthink it. Let's not overthink it. Okay, so showing. Oh, I don't have any styles for showing. There's navigation. There's the grid wrap. Here's the sidebar. Sort. We'll put showing here. Oh, but we just really want that on mobile, don't we? Let's give that a little bit of margin. All right. I'm very happy with this today. So now we just need to get our JavaScript in there. Oh, and we need to adjust the z-index on our navigation. I think we can just increase this z-index right here. Oh, we don't even have any z-index, that's why. So I bet if we just do z-index 1, that'll take care of that. So that's on line 370. Right here. There we go. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is get this filter button wired up. Oh, and you know what else we need to do? The one QA item that I put in here. We need a no results message for the filter. All right. Can I ask a question? What if your degree or education is completed in 2025? So what do you learn, or what do you do according to you? I'm not sure what the question is. Presumably, if you had a degree, that would dictate what it is that you're going to do in 2025. Yeah, so I think that you should do whatever you studied, whatever you do, whatever your degree is, that's what you should pursue as your studies. I think that's what you're asking me. If you have a more specific question about development or programming, let me know. I'll do my best to answer that question for you. Okay. I'm going to ask GitHub Copilot to help out with this because I feel like we could recycle this toggle menu functionality, but I'm not quite sure. My instinct is to just make a whole new function for the filter, but how much you want to bet GitHub Copilot is going to want to know, is going to want to somehow combine this in a much more elegant way than I would know how to. So let's ask. So let's add a file for context. I'll add index.html, and I need a toggle for the filter class. What is it? Filter class sidebar filter. Sidebar filter similar to the navigation menu. So we'll see, let's see what happens. hopefully it sees the markup in the HTML and it sees that it's pretty much identical to what we did for the navigation, and it just repeats that or combines that. But I promise you it's going to be faster than if I had to do it. Okay, to add a toggle for the filter sidebar similar to the navigation menu, you should add event listeners to the filter button. I'll update your script. Thank you. The script sidebar now toggles open and closed. So what changed here? It's just looking at my comments for the oh, here's the sidebar filter toggle. Put it down at the bottom. So it added it to the DOM content loaded. Okay, so the active class should be filter active, and it should be its own function added to the body element. Okay. Please don't change any of my comments in other parts of the script. You did change them. Change them back, please. I feel like you're changing things. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to copy what it put in here and then re-add it myself and undo all of this because it's changing stuff that I don't want it to change. So just going to take this and copy it and undo. go. No, it removed all of my comments. Why did you do that? It removed all of my comments. Hang on. Don't save. There we go. Okay, so we don't need to repeat this. And filter active. Okay. Whew. My comments. I wanted these comments. I very specifically put these comments in here for a reason. Don't mess with my comments. There we go. So we just need a transition, but this is working now. This is working. So let's check the class, our body class. There we go, filter active. Now what happens? So we probably want to make sure that it's either the filter or the menu. What happens on nitpicks if we do that? So can you do both on the nitpicks website? What happens? So the menu, no, you can't because it's covered up. Well, yeah, interesting. We should probably do that. Or we could just do like pointer events. Couldn't we just do pointer events none? So if, let's reset this. Or yeah, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Because if that's open, you can click on that. And it's like a battle of the off-canvas navigation. All right, so let's answer a couple of questions here. Pranav has some more questions. You have a complete bachelor degree of information technology, but I love dev also and networking. And I like to give people solutions if there is anyone there that has a system problem. Yeah, I don't think I can really help you with that. I'm not really good at giving career advice. I'm happy to share my own experiences as a developer. If you need hype, like if you need someone to hype you up and support your decisions in front-end development, I'm a good person for that. I'm good at hype. But when it comes to stuff like that, you need to sit down and have a conversation with yourself about what it is that you want to do. If you have a degree in information technology, but you also enjoy development, there's no reason not to do both. So I think you need to sit down and have a conversation with yourself about what it is that you want to pursue. That's my best advice for you. I think that an IT degree is still a great choice of a degree to have, even if you want to switch and do development and start learning development. So we focus on HTML, vanilla CSS, and vanilla JavaScript here because I just love to practice and I love to get back to basics and just practice sort of those core foundational concepts. So if you want to get into front-end development, I would highly recommend doing what I'm doing right now, which is just go out and find a mockup and practice your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It's a low barrier to entry because you don't need to worry about Node. You don't need to worry about package managers. You can instantly see your work in the browser. So that's why I do what I do on this channel. I want to ask you, when I try to put any image on the site and the image is not responsive, what do I do? This is my big problem. I am okay with Node, with backend, but when it comes to front end, it sounds like you're having more trouble with front end development. Yeah, it's complex. If you would like to, reach out to me privately and have an offline conversation, and you need help with something specific, I am available for some coaching and consulting. I will look in my About tab, and my email is in there if you want to reach out to me and send me an email. I'm happy to talk to you offline if you're having trouble. So yeah, my best advice to people is to just dig in and start building things. Learn how to leverage AI, learn how to prompt and ask questions. We do this on the stream every single weekend. We do this every weekend. People see me work, how I problem solve, the type of questions that I ask ChatGPT when I'm stuck on something. It just requires an enormous amount of practice. But yeah, if it's something that you're interested in and you want to do, I highly recommend it. You just need to jump in and start doing it. And this is a great comment. As you code and do a lot of projects, things will get good, especially with front end. Yeah, it requires practice. Trust me, we all sucked in the beginning. We were all terrible in the beginning. None of us knew how to make our images responsive because it's hard and it's complex. The more you dive in and the more you're willing to be a good problem solver, the easier it's going to get. I have faith in you, but if you would like to reach out to me at my email address, I'm happy to talk to you offline if you need some help. So, okay. So I kind of feel like the one of the last things here that we need to do is sort of figure out this blur. I've done that before. I don't remember how to do that. So, okay, let's ask our friend ChatGPT. Remind me. I have 2 off canvas menus, one for navigation and one for a filter. It's basically a battle of the menus. I'd like to make the background blurry and do something like pointer events none. Can you show me an easy way to do that? Yeah, this is a good, Memory Clips has a good comment here. By the way, welcome Memory Clips. Playing with the IDE is not harmful. Just play and practice every day. Yeah, I mean, this is what I used to tell my junior developers all the time. Just, you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose by just practicing. So go for it. If you're working locally, you have nothing to lose. So, okay, totally. Easiest pattern at a full page scrim that blurs and blocks clicks whenever either off canvas is open. So it's putting in here an ID overlay with a class of overlay that's aria hidden true. And then here's the overlay. Here's the body has drawer. So it would either be body menu active or body filter active overlay. Scroll lock. And we already have our drawers. So here's the drawer. Here's the drawer filter. Drawer is open. Okay, well, we've already got that. Okay, and it's giving us a little bit of JavaScript. So we've already got, oh yeah, and we'll add our escape key here also, so we can close those. Okay, let's do this. Let's do it. So I'm going to put this here. Let's close you. Right before the main. And then we'll put in our overlay. So I'm going to put that right here. And then we're going to we'll do these two. Except this is going to be body menu active. Or filter active. And it's going to be pretty much, it's going to be menu active, okay. And our drawers are already done. And then we'll add optional users who, oh, and then let the grids card shrink nicely under the blur if needed. I'm not going to worry about this. And then we'll do this media prefers reduced motion. And then, okay, so this is getting the main, getting the overlay, and getting the drawers, which we already have our drawers. Disable the focus or clicks behind. So this is for Chrome or Safari. Okay, so we can do this, but it's going to be query selector main. Yeah, I'm just going to do query selector main. We already have that. I think I'm just going to do this main set attribute inert, and then main remove attribute inert, and then we need to make sure that we have our escape key functionality. I guess. We don't need all of this. I'll put these here. This is going to be query selector. And that had an ID. Yes. Okay. I think we would do this, or we would do this. Add, make it inert, remove inert. And we're going to do the same thing here. If is active, I think this will work. Let's try this first. Yeah. We did it. We did it. Look at that. That's super fancy. And we have to battle of the Z indexes. That's funny. Okay, let's get this sorted once and for all. Let's see. That's so funny. Position relative. I think we just have to set a Z index here of 0, maybe -1. No, it can't be -1. I think that I think we have to change the Z index on, we have to set a Z index on this. I guess I'm going to do 0. Let's see what happens. Battle of the Z indexes. Just want to make sure that we still do this. Okay, so that can be a Z index of 1, and that'll take care of that. Oops. So I think we just have to increase this Z index maybe to 2. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so we'll change our navigation. I mean, as battle of the Z index goes, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. That's exactly what those are for, those stacking index, the Z index. So I see a lot like 9999 or -9999. Like I recommend that you not do that and just really think about what the actual layering is, what the stacking is. Positioning, fixed positioning, absolute positioning, those things are aggressive, but you do have to start to wrap your head around the stacking order of things and the layering of things. So, and it can be, it can for sure get wacky. Things can definitely get wacky. So, I am thrilled with this. I am thrilled with this. Let's actually push this up to our repo and take a look at this. And this doesn't look quite right. 100%. There you go. And we should probably look at this on, we should probably look at this in Firefox and Safari, which makes me nervous. Definitely makes me nervous. I'm for sure happy with this though. It's not perfect. I feel like this is definitely, we are solidly in done is better than perfect territory. But that's how it works. That's how it works. That's how it works. It's like the reality. I don't want to spend, a couple projects ago, I did that big, it was called The Ocean. It was a beautiful blog focused site. It took 24 streams to get that done. I built out every single mock-up in that mock-up pack that I had bought, and it took 24 streams to get it done. And I very much want these projects to fit into 8, no more than 8. That's the goal. And I think that that's important because I think it's important to show people that you need to set goals, right, and get things deployed. And B, when it comes right down to it, there may be things that don't get done, and that's okay, because that is such a normal part of the process to go through and prioritize the things that absolutely need to be done in order to deploy to production, and things that can go into your technical debt backlog. That's the real world. That's how it really works. Emilio says, I enjoy how you ask AI questions. I see so many people get incorrect results for AI because of how they form questions incorrectly. Yeah, I've learned the best way to get results, this is just my experience, the best way for me to get results is it's like you're asking a friend for help. So 24 streams, yes, but they were super awesome. But yeah, goals are important. Thank you for saying that, because I kind of look and I cringe a little bit when I see that part of my live tab, and I'm like, sweet Jesus, Angela, really 24? It took you 24 to get all that done? So, okay, we need to deploy. Let's deploy. And then while this is percolating up to our staging site, we're going to quickly check Firefox and Safari. And from your mouth to God's ears, there will be no problems. Okay? I'm just going to say it out loud now. Filter mobile styles. Okay. And Ani K is saying, this is so interesting. Well, I hope that it's interesting in the best possible way. I hope it's interesting in the best possible way. And not in the way of, what is this woman doing? Okay, so here we are in Firefox. Let's check our sorting. All right, sorting works. Beautiful. Our filtering works. Let's make sure that our reset works. All right, the reset works. Let's go ahead and load some more. This is all JavaScript, so I would expect this to be working correctly. All right. And then let's do, yeah, that works. And this is specifically searching the titles. All right, good, good, good. Let's see how things look on the mobile experience. Beautiful, I'm clicking. Click, 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 click. Nothing's happening. That's what we want. So let's filter. I love it. Here's the menu. Click, clickety click, 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 click. Nothing's happening. Good, that's what we want. Close. And in order to reset, it is inside, but I guess that's going into the technical debt column. Our footer looks good. I love it. Firefox, big thumbs up. Big thumbs up. All right, Safari. All right. All right, our sorting works. Cheese. Everybody loves cheese. Well, I love cheese. All right, our JavaScript is working. Yay. Let's see how she looks on mobile. Oh, that's weird. Oof. It is like pushing back. It's like pushing back when I try to move it. It's kind of weird. Oof. Okay. Don't know what's going on there. Click, click, click. Nothing's happening. We can still sort. We love this. Okay, I'm going to give this a pass because I don't see anything glaringly standing out. So now let's make sure that on desktop we have done this a little bit. So let's make sure that we can tab through with the keyboard. So we have some elements that we didn't have time to really build out. If you were going live, I would just remove these from the DOM altogether, but it is what it is. We are at least getting the correct tabbing order. So I would say that an accessibility improvement that we probably should make, well, we're going to do two more things in our JavaScript, which is hitting the escape key to close either of the menus and a message that says nothing matches your filtered options. If we were going to make another accessibility improvement, it would be that when you load more, so here's what happened. I don't know if you noticed this. So I'm just going to tab all the way through. So now we're at load more. I hit enter. And then when I continue to tab, we go into the footer. We go into the next thing. Ideally, when you load more, the focus should go back to the first thing that just got loaded, right? Although none of our items get focus. None of these items get focus, so we actually don't need to do that. If this was a product grid that had buttons or add to cart, things like that, you would, after you hit load more, you would want the first item that just got loaded in that new grouping to get focus. But we actually don't need to do that here because there's nothing in the products that gets focus. Like there are no buttons or links. So for now, I'm okay letting that go because none of the products get focus. So I'm going to say for accessibility, this is doing what I would expect it to do. Let's just pop this into mobile and do a quick keyboard test. Oh. And so here's where we would want to make sure that we can escape because we are not trapping the focus. And then the next logical place is the filter after the menu. And that button is getting focused, then the search. Then the sort, then it skips down to the load more. And then it goes, we could go back up to the load more and hit load more. And then it continues down through the form and into the footer. So I think that that's an acceptable tab order based on what we're doing here. So let's do our two remaining things in our JavaScript. Okay, so we do, and actually I already have, okay, I think GitHub Copilot is wildly imperfect, but it is still pretty good. So let's ask it. Let's ask it to do, we need a function to close either the nav drawer or the filter drawer when hitting the escape key. Please do not change anything else in script JS. Thank you. So Anike says, in a way that I'm learning from you. Good. Well, thank you. I'm glad. And Emilio says, I'm a good teacher. Gosh darn it. He's changing. Look at what GitHub Copilot is doing. What is this compulsion with changing my comments? Okay. 24 streams. Didn't you want to quit the project midway? Ocean project looks awesome. No, I didn't want to quit, but every day I was like, why aren't you done with this yet? Go Elmo Go says, I pushed to GitHub and I am done for the day. Oh, a migraine has taken me out. Ooh, I'm sorry. Time to take a nap. Good stream and good work this weekend. Yes, go lie down. Take a nap. Ooh, I don't suffer from migraines, but anytime I even get the hint of a headache, I just feel like a big baby. So I'm so sorry you're experiencing that. On the left and right side of the landing page, there are some spaces. These can be useful for advertisements also, or a background. Agreed. So, New York Code says, hello, welcome New York Code. I have a doubt in Flutter, the Firebase authentication can add Web API or Android API. Which one will work? Boy, I'm not the right person to ask for that. That is not the kind of front-end developer that I am. I am very UI focused, and I've never used Flutter or Firebase, so I'm so sorry I can't help you with that. And Amelia says, Copilot may not be doing what you want, but at least if it ever takes over, it will remember you are being nice. Emilio, the number of times that I have reminded ChatGPT that I am being a nice person and that I always say please and thank you, and it does reassure me that when the machines take over, it will remember me. So this is a good point. This is a very good point. So, okay, let's see here what it says. A new function now closes either the nav drawer or the filter drawer when you press the escape key. Nothing else in script.js was changed. Well, something else was changed. Oh, I think it just modified. Oh, and it is giving me a chance to reject changes. I think it just rewrote my comment. Let's see here. Handle escape close. Add event listener, key down. Okay, perfect. It's just removing. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to keep it. Let's test it. Okay. Escape. Boom. Oh, what's happening here? We still have pointer events. Oh, hang on. So there's a pointer events conflict, I bet. I bet I know what it is. No, it's oh, the inert. We have to, it's the inert. So we'll do the same thing here. We'll just oh, I put toggle filter sidebar in here twice. We don't need it twice. And we just need this. It's still not removing it. Oh, that's because I did the set attribute. We need to remove the attribute. There we go. All right. Oh, now this is not, now I cannot click on that. Because it's inside. It was working, wasn't it? Main inert. I thought that it was working. Do we need the inert? Is it just me? I thought it was working. Wasn't it working? Do we really need the inert? Try giving main a relative style and try, if not, add a z index too. I just want to take, I think it's this inert attribute on main. Do we really need that? Except that I really feel like that was initially working. So what was the reason? It had a reason for doing it. Disable focus and clicks behind for Chrome and Safari. Let's just ask how important this is, because one of my drawers is inside the main container. How important is this? One of my drawers is inside the main element. It's messing up my stuff. Good catch. The inert attribute basically tells the browser, pretend this element and all its children don't exist for focus clicks or screen readers. That's why when you slap inert on main, any drawer inside main also goes dark. Yeah, I know. How important is it? It prevents keyboard users from tabbing into the background while a drawer is open. UX polish. Even without inert, your overlay with pointer events auto already blocks mouse clicks, but keyboard users could still tab into links behind the overlay. I actually don't care about that because I don't care if keyboard users can tab into the page, because part of the page is showing, and hitting escape closes either menu drawer, either drawer. Perfect. Yeah. So I'm just going to take this out because I'm already accounting for that, I think. So we can take out this. I don't think I need to do anything related to this overlay, do I? Nope. Let's check it out now. Yep. Okay. Let's just check it on mobile. And let's just check it on mobile. Oh, let's also, we need to push this up. We're basically done. We're basically done. We're just going to push this up. We'll check it on mobile. Let's see here. JS for escape and background blur. Yeah, we try to keep the chat focused on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Um, it looks like you are struggling to find clients, so I can't even get a $100 web design development client. I was myself going to provide hosting and domain. Yeah, I'm not good at giving advice on how to find clients. It's difficult even for me, and I freelanced for a long time. Um, and I do have some videos about working with clients and how I found clients. And my best advice for that is to get to know the people in your community, get to know small business owners in your community. Once I had been freelancing for a while, like, 12 to 18 months or so, most of my business came from referrals. Um, it's hard to find clients. The best place to do it is to just put yourself out there, get to know small businesses in your community, make sure you have a strong portfolio. Um, that is my best advice. Freelancing is hard. Freelancing is hard. I can definitely, I can empathize with that. I can really empathize with that. So let's see. Okay, there's our filter button. And I'm tapping. I'm tapping in the blurry part. Nothing's happening, so that's good. We can close. There's our menu button. Tapping in the blurry part, and we can close. And let's open the filter and make sure that we can scroll. We can. There's our reset. You kind of, there it is. Love it. We definitely need to call this project done. I feel like I'm at the point in this project where I'm just like, oh, I really don't want to work on this anymore. Um, let's see here. Here we go. Yeah, I'm definitely. Oh, yes, this is Heidi. Let's see here. How do you. I don't know how to do that. There we go. There she is. There's Heidi. I used to be able to like hold it down and it was like one of those iPhone where it's like a video for a couple of seconds. This is Heidi at the dog park when she was a puppy. She's maybe a year old. So, yeah, she's a good girl. So, okay. I think that's it. I think that's it. Oh, here. One moment. Hold please. All right. Wow, what a weekend. We got a lot done this weekend. We got a lot done this weekend. Um, Thank you to everybody who tuned in and hung out. And no apology necessary. The mods do a really good job of keeping the chat focused and on the work that we're doing. And they are totally empowered to do so. I completely trust them to keep the chat focused on the work. I don't mind answering a couple of these questions, but I struggle to be an authority on helping people find clients because I really struggled with that myself, and I do still continue to do some freelancing, but not that much because I I do find it stressful to do client work, and I'm lucky that I'm in a position right now where I can be very choosy about who I work with. Um, but I understand it's difficult when you're starting out. And so yeah, keep going, keep working at it. You'll get there. It's hard work, but anything worth doing is worth working for. I really believe that. And New York Code wants me to add border radius to images. New York Code doesn't know that I despise border radius on images. But thank you for the feedback. We had this conversation, I think, in yesterday's stream because Go Elmo Go also really loves border radius, and I had other people who tell me to do that, and I don't like it. I just don't like it. I had a project, I told this story yesterday too. I had a project manager once who, well, he just didn't like me, and that's okay because I didn't like him either. But he told me regularly that my websites looked unfinished because I would not put border radius on images. So there you go. Memory clips. I am trying to build my own web app and web pages to gain. Also, these can be good references in freelancing. Yeah, and you know what? Hang on, I'm just going to brag a little bit, okay? This is what I've been doing. This is what I've been doing. This is my project page. So every time I have a new project, and all of my projects are things that I am doing in the live stream, and I have a couple more even to add to this. I don't put any of my client work in my portfolio, nothing like that. Nothing that I did when I was a developer at the University of St. Thomas. Everything I put in my portfolio are the projects that we worked on during the streams. So this type of thing is excellent for your portfolio. Just go out and find a mock-up and work on building it, and that is excellent material for your portfolio. So, well, thank you. I appreciate it, and welcome to the stream. We are happy to have you. And yeah, I will do my best answering your questions. Great stream. Thank you, Amelia. I appreciate you. I'm glad to have you here. Very appreciative also to Rahul, Monique, Emilio, Go Elmo Go. They are the mods in the chat and we love and appreciate them. Memory Clips, it was great work. Thank you. Thank you, Memory Clips. Listen, if you're new here, do me a favor and like this stream. I would love to be able to push this out to more people who enjoy front-end development and want to see what it looks like to be a real front-end developer building things, because I think new people can get discouraged easily with the number of problems they run into. And I hope that this is an example that even somebody who is experienced struggles, doesn't have all the answers, has to do a lot of problem solving. I think towards the end here, this is a great example of doing one thing and then breaking the next thing and then fixing that thing and then another thing breaks and now we need to fix that, right? So that's what it looks like to be a developer. That's what it looks like. So don't get discouraged. Keep working at it. Keep practicing. It will get easier the more you practice, just like everything else in life, right? Yeah, and if you're new here, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. We just hit 1,000 subscribers this weekend. It took a little over a year. I did my first stream on August 11th, 2024, last summer. And it took us like a year and 2 weeks to get up to 1,000 subscribers. I wouldn't change that experience for the world. I learned so much over the last year, just being more confident on camera and learning how to talk to the chat and talk through what I'm doing and build things. Yeah. Next time, use Claude for better results. You know what? Fair. I am a Chat GPT kind of gal, and you're not the first person to say try using a different AI tool. I will. That's fair. I'll try it. I'll give it a try. So yeah, I think it's going to keep growing too, Emilio. I've got big plans. For this channel. So we're done with this project. I'm going to finish editing this weekend's streams, and then this project as a focused edited project will be out, I think, not this week, but the following week. And it's going to be in the 10 to 11 hour ballpark. What I do is I edit out all of my conversations with the chat, all of these moments where I'm just talking to the camera. I edit all of that out, so it is a very focused project video, and they're long, but it's the real-time build of me working on this. And I love making them. I love making them. It's so fun. So I have another one coming out this week. It's a little shorter. It's more in the 5 to 6 hour ballpark. I'm not quite done editing that one yet. And then this one will be more like 10 or 11 hours. This will be out next week. So we have 2 big project builds coming that will get posted here soon. So yeah, I guess that's it. Everybody, have a great rest of your week. Happy Labor Day if you're in the US and you celebrate. This is Labor Day weekend. Tomorrow's Labor Day. It's a big holiday weekend, the end of summer. Thank you very much. Yeah, we hit 1,000 yesterday morning, so that was very exciting. Waiting for more cooking vlogs. Yes, I have one recorded. I did a vlog that was all Trader Joe's, including making margaritas. So I just haven't had a chance to edit it yet, but I do have a vlog that was all Trader Joe's cooking, and it's coming. So I'll try to get that done maybe this week and get that posted. In July, I started vlogging, which is something I had always wanted to do. And what I discovered about vlogging is that, first of all, I do really, really enjoy it. And second of all, I am unbelievably boring. I am too boring to do a weekly vlog. So I will be doing vlogs probably more like once or twice a month is what I'm thinking. So stay tuned for more vlogs. They will be totally unrelated to front-end development, and I don't care at all because I just think they're fun, and I love just aesthetic vlogs. I think like aesthetic lifestyle content, that's content I genuinely enjoyed and that I genuinely enjoy and would like to have on the channel. So I'm going to do it. So thank you. I appreciate that. I certainly enjoy it. Yes, margaritas. My sister gave me a bottle of margarita mix for Christmas, and it had just been sitting in the fridge. So I was like, you know what? I think now is the perfect time to get a bottle of cheap Jose Cuervo and mix up some margaritas at home. So I did that, and I filmed the whole thing. So it's going to be part of the Trader Joe's cooking vlog. So you can look forward to that. All right, everybody. Whew, it was a lot. We're all 2 hours and 45 minutes. Have a great rest of your day. Have a happy holiday weekend. Have a great rest of your week. I do have something planned. We're starting a new project next weekend. So hopefully you can come back and hang out with us while we start a new project. And I will see you in my next one. Bye-bye.